Good morning, spelling group number 3. Today is Tuesday, September 1st. Today is the first day of September, and we are going to begin by doing a practice spelling test from yesterday's words. I hope you read them, practice reading them, wrote them 6 times. I'm going to give you a spelling test. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of lined paper. And on your lined paper, you're going to write your name, date, 9/1/20, September 1st, 2020. And I want you to write, okay, this video is for group 3. I hope you're on the correct video, okay? On your line paper, you're going to write spelling number 4, test, on the top of your paper. On the top of your paper and on the upper right-hand corner, write name and date, okay? And I gave you 5 spelling words yesterday, and I'm going to test you on those. I want you to put yesterday's spelling words and close your spelling book. If you wrote your spelling words on a piece of line paper, put that away. Don't look at it. This test is on your honor. I hope you're honest and you will not look anywhere for the correct spelling. All right. Your first word, number 1. Your word is balance. Balance. Can you balance yourself on the, I don't know, what do we balance ourselves? On the bike. Can you balance yourself on a bike? Balance. Number 2, your word is cry. Please don't cry when you lose your things. I don't know. I can't think of a good sentence. Let me see. What does the book tell me? To shut your ears to the cry of the poor is to cry and not be heard. Cry. Number 3, the word is act. In prayer, we act like men. In praise, we act like angels. Act. 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 Number 4, the word is use. Use. You may use my pencil, but please give it back. Use. Number 5, your word is tax. Remember, you need to pay tax on your purchase. Tax. And number 7, your word is thought. I thought you were coming back tonight. Thought. Okay, you should have 7 words, okay? Now that piece of line paper that you wrote spelling number 4 test, I want you to put that in your multi-subject folder under test, and you're gonna leave it there. Don't correct it, don't check and see if it's right or wrong, don't compare it, just stick it in there. I will correct it on Friday, and on Monday I'll let you know what you missed, okay? All right, so get your spelling books out, and I'm gonna give you 7 new words to add to your book. So in your book, we're on the second column and we're under 1, 2. It's going to be number 3 of the second column, which is really number 13. Okay? And your first word is size. What size shoe do you wear? Size. Size. Let me erase this. We're not on the spelling test. If you did not find your spelling book and you're using a separate sheet of paper than your test, I need you to write spelling number 4 on the top and your name and date, okay? I'm sure that most of you do have your spelling book though, but if not, this is what you need to write on the top of your lined paper, okay? Or you can use the same paper from yesterday that you wrote your new spelling words. You can just continue on where you left off, okay? So your word is size. It's 1 syllable. And what we need to do is look for multi-letter phonograms. I do not see any multi-letter phonograms. Then we are going to look for any silent letters. Do you see any silent letters? I, Z. The E doesn't say its sound. We double underline the E because it's silent. Silent E goes by 5 rules. And when we use the rules, if you don't remember which rule to use, we always just go down in order until you find the one that you need. So the first silent rule, number 1, is silent E is used to tell the vowel to say its second sound. Because remember, without the E, that I says its first sound. It has 2 sounds. I. That says sis. But when we add the E, it tells the to say I. So it is rule number 1. We don't have to write a 1 here, but we will draw a rainbow line over to the I. Okay? Next week, I'll try to remember. I was supposed to do it this week and I forgot. Those of you guys who have your spelling book, I believe you have the rules written in your spelling book. If you don't have a spelling book, let me know and I'm going to have copies of the 5 rules to send home with you, okay? But if you have a spelling book from previous years, you can get that out and look at the rules in there, okay? Your next word is rule. Rule, 1 syllable, rule. What rule do we use for silent E? Rule. Oops, that was supposed to go down like that. Rule. Okay. So I don't see any multi-letter phonograms. You know what? Let me write that better. That doesn't look too nice. Okay. I don't see any multi-letter phonograms. That's an L. It's hard to see my loop. Okay. I do see a silent E. We double underline silent letters. This is a silent E. Silent E goes by 5 rules. First rule, silent E is used to tell the vowel to say its second sound. So let's check and see if it's saying its second sound. This vowel has 3 sounds. U, U, rule. It doesn't sound like it's second sound. We don't say it correctly. We say rule. It's rule. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but it is telling the it's not saying roll, it's saying rule to say its second sound. Okay. Your next word is himself. 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 It's 2 syllables, but aside from 2 syllables, this word is a compound word. A compound word is when you take 2 separate words and put them together to make 1 word, okay? So if I write himself, if I got rid of that, that would still be a word. If I got rid of that, that would still be a word. That's called a compound word. 2 words put together to make 1 word. Himself. There are no multi-letter phonograms. I don't see any silent letters. And what else do we look for? We don't see any letters that are saying a second sound besides a vowel. We do have consonants that say second sounds. I don't see any. Everything says its sound. Ha, of, self, himself. The next word is itself. 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 That's another compound word. 2 words put together to make 1. Itself. No phonograms, no silent letters, no second sounds. I don't see anything that needs to be marked. I hope you were able to see that before I told you the answer, okay? What we are going to do is you're going to put a bracket. A bracket. These 2, okay. These two words are called pronouns. Any word that refers to a person is a pronoun. Himself is referring to a him. Itself is referring to it. Pronouns are words that refer to someone or something. That's a pronoun. Okay. We're going to be working on grammar this year for the older students. So this is something that I'm going to be reinforcing more and more this year for the older, for group 3. Okay. Your next word is, let me see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Your next word is number. 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 Move over here. Okay, 2 syllables, number. Do you see any multi-letter phonograms? No. Do we see any silent letters? No. Is there anything saying its second sound? Nope. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. There is a multi-letter phonogram. You guys probably say, no, Miss Yolanda, there is. There is a multi-letter phonogram. It's an easy one too. As in her. Number. As in her. Okay. Number has an abbreviation. So underneath or next to it, if you have room, I want you to write the abbreviation. So I'm going to write ABBR, which is abbreviation for abbreviation. So your abbreviation for number is NO period. Make sure you put the period, because without the period, it looks like the word no. But it's not the word no, it's the abbreviation for number. Okay? And we've got 1, 2, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to give you 8 words today. The next word is there. There. I want you to go over there. There is another word that sounds like there, which is a possessive word. It means there. That is their classroom. That's not the one. It's there. In other words, there's 2 ways of spelling it, but it has 2 different meanings. Over there, you would write. Okay. So you guys are probably saying, I see 2 multi-letter phonograms. But I'm going to tell you that I only see 1. And I'll show you why there's only 1 multi-letter phonogram. This multi-letter phonogram has 2 sounds. And this one is there. There. It's the second sound. You're going to put a 2 on top of this. Okay. Now, you're probably saying that this is as in her, right here. But it's not. So if you underline it, erase it. Don't get ahead of myself, or don't get ahead of me. If this was as in her, as in her sounds like It doesn't say thir. It says there, okay? This vowel has 2 sounds, e. It sounds like the first sound, there. We normally don't write our 1s. In this case, we're going to make an exception, and the reason is we're going to put a 1 there to say that it's saying its first sound, and we do that to remind us that it's not a as in her, okay? It's not a as in her. Okay, we have an E that's silent. Can you tell me which rule that is? Rule number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Okay, rule number 1 tells the vowel to say its second sound. It does not, I'm sorry, that's not the second sound, that's the first, so it can't be rule number 1. V and U take a 2. There's no V and U. C and G take a 3. And rule number 4, believe it or not, I forgot what rule number 4 is. And it is C and G. Let me find what the rule is. You know what? I'll find out what the rule is, and I'll tell you what it is on the next video. But it's no job E. There's no reason why that E should be there. And so it's rule number 5. It's a no job E. It doesn't have a job to do. Okay. The next word is cross. 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 Jesus was hung on a cross. Try to write the words out before you look up and see how to write it. Try to sound it out yourself, okay? And then look up and look at my spelling, okay? Cross. We have a C-R-O-S-S. Now, why are we writing that instead of a? There's a rule why we don't write it like that. The rule is that if you have a word that is one syllable, one vowel, and it ends in F, S, or L, you double the last consonant. That's why we have 2 S's, okay? And the reason we don't write the K is because this is the first sound. If you have a vowel that says its first sound, you use the letter C, okay? A vowel with the first sound, you use the letter C rather than a K. If you have one syllable, which is one vowel, you often double the F, S, or L. In this case, we do. You double the S. And there is no markings on cross. And I believe that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I said I was going to give you 8. The last one. The last one is something. Something. Another compound word. 2 words put together to make 1 word. Something. Write it before you look up. Okay. Some, we have a silent E. Okay. Some, some. That's the first sound. Okay. So it's not there to tell that to say the second sound. There's no U, V, C, or G. Okay. So it must be a no job E. No job E. Thing. There is a Z. It has 2 sounds. Something. Or Z. There has a second sound. This is thing. It's a first sound. We don't need to write the 1. Just underline the multi-letter phonogram. And we have another multi-letter phonogram. Ng. Nasal ng. Okay. So that is 8 words. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you a test on all 8 words. Okay. Make sure you know how to read each one of these words. And let me get rid of this here so you can see that better. Make sure your name and date. If you did this on line paper, write your name and date. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words. Know how to read them. Write them 6 times. I will give you a test on tomorrow's video. All right? Goodbye.